Coming up, we find out what to expect for COD's 56th commencement ceremony. MPTV Animation students will have their work spotlighted. And we take you back to the ball game for a recap on the Chaps baseball season. All that and much more on this edition of Courier News TV. Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm CJ Rosenstein. United States Representative Sean Caston visited the college's political science department on Tuesday, May 2nd for a policy conversation about his legislation and proposed amendment to reform the size of the House, Senate, and Supreme Court. Our CNTV reporter Manuel Nardi is there to fill us in.
We're here at the College of DuPage Health and Science Center, where Representative Sean Caston is here to discuss his legislative and amendment efforts of reforming the House, Senate, and Supreme Court.
It's my great pleasure to be one of 25,000 people who's ever been a member of Congress. Our job is to figure out, are we making things a little bit better while we're here? And that means you got to know where you started, right? I mean, it's not only history. You want to know where you're going, but you got to know where you started and where you are. There's history and there's nostalgia, and somewhere in between is memory. And we tell ourselves stories about who we were as a country, and those stories ought to be accurate if we can. Right? And that means that we got to understand the history so that we don't just get tied up in nostalgia. Last week I went down, built a statue of Mamie Till down at Argo High School, and we got into this beautiful conversation that all went back to when I went down with John Lewis to walk across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, March of 2020. John died in July, so this was his last time walking across. And Ruby Bridges was there, Jim Lawson was there, like all of these sort of icons were out there. And so I was talking to these people and I said, what was it about that sort of time in the 60s that gave, people like Rosa Parks, people like Martin Luther King, the courage to stand up when they knew what the risks were of standing up, and then how did they get people to follow them? And this guy, Chuck Neblett, who I was talking to, who's one of the freedom singers, he said, his words, he said, Martin and Rosa were good people, don't take this the wrong way, but the movement came first, and until you have a movement, you don't need a leader. And then the leader shows up when the movement is there. And I said, okay, well, who created the movement? And he said, Emmett Till. And we were talking about that in the context of Mamie Till, because Mamie Till, of course, created the circumstances that turned that tragedy into a movement. And I tell all that story because, how important is civic engagement? It's the only thing. Once you get the movement, and that was true when we saw the Black Lives Matter marches right now. It was true when we saw the March for Women. It was true when we saw the March for Science. None of that was because someone stood up and said, I need you people to go out and march in the streets. It's because people started marching in the streets, and then people in leadership positions had to follow. So it's all civic engagement. Stay engaged, because it's the only thing that ever moves us forward.
From CNTV News, I'm Manuel Nardi.
Preparations for the College of DuPage's 2023 commencement ceremony are underway as the graduates are getting ready to step off the stage and onto their careers. CNTV reporter Florentina Lipovica is there to find out what the graduates should expect at the ceremony. Florentina.
Hi CJ, I'm at the PE Arena where the commencement will take place. Here with me is the manager of Student Life, Chuck Steele. Hi Chuck, what do you have to say about the ceremony this year?
Well, the headline is definitely the number of graduates we have participating. We have over 780 students participating in the ceremony, and that is more than we have ever had before by a long shot. Commencement is literally the happiest day on campus, so we are all just super excited for the graduates and for their friends and family.
What do you have to say? Any parting words for the graduating students?
To the graduating students, I would say thank you for the positive impact you've had on campus while you've been here. And never forget, like we say at New Student Orientation, once a chaparral, you're always a chaparral, so be sure to stay in touch.
Well, thank you so much, Chuck. Commencement will take place on May 19th, Friday, at 7 p.m. Back to you, CJ.
Thank you, Florentina. And for more information regarding the commencement, visit COD's website at cod.edu. COD's Student Life held their annual awards ceremony last week. To honor the college's clubs and organizations, Student Life recognized the work done by its leadership programs and handed out awards to 3 clubs, plus a club advisor, club officer, and the Student Leader of the Year. Student Life Manager Chuck Steele believes that this year's ceremony truly celebrated the accomplishments of COD's clubs and organizations.
The impressive thing is the collective impact that these clubs and organizations are having on the campus community. I mentioned in my presentation how membership in clubs and orgs this year has just really exploded. It's gone through the roof. Just really reflecting on everything that the clubs and organizations have done this year, listening to all the presentations and seeing the slides. It's really amazing the great work that has been going on this year with all the clubs and organizations.
This Tuesday, May 16th, the animation program at the College of DuPage will be hosting their 6th annual Animation Night. Joining us now to discuss this event is animation professor Tony Venezia. How's it going, Tony?
Very well. How are you doing, CJ?
Doing good. Thank you for joining us.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
What types of animation are we going to expect to see?
We're going to see a number of different types of animation, stop motion, a number of character animation projects, one or two 3D animations, and then there's several that are combining 3D and 2D animation.
What would you like the COD community to know about Animation Night?
Well, this is an annual event. We've been doing it for the last 12 years. Our program, the animation program, is 15 years old, and the first 2 or 3 years we were building the program, so we didn't have any graduates because they they had to graduate first. After that, though, it was suggested by one of my students that we should have a bigger deal than just an in-class screening. And that's where it was born. And ever since then, it's been a growing event. And we've finally worked our way up to being housed in the Belushi Theater. And it's an event that people around here look for, well, actually more than just at COD. People in the outside community look forward to this every year. And I get questions, oh, when's Animation Night, and things like that from somebody that I haven't even talked to about it.
The Belushi Hall, that's really cool that you guys are able to go into there and really show it on like the big screen and all that. What has impressed you most about the students? I really am excited about this particular group of students. There's some really, well, this is our first real time when we're completely out of COVID. And I think people are ready to talk. And I mean talk in their films. And there's a lot of heartfelt films that from humor to very serious. There's one project that even from the storyboard, I cried when the student took me through the storyboard, but I still do even now. I've seen various segments of the film throughout the semester. And it's just like people are being really honest with their projects. I'm seeing really good work. I mean, some amazing animation. The amount of time students are putting into their projects is very impressive as well. So I've been really pleased with this group. That's awesome. And what can you tell us about the animation degree for those who may be inspired to try and go for it after seeing what happens at Animation Night?
Well, this is a focus in foundation building and animation, where I guess the bottom line, without going into a whole lecture, is the program teaches students how to bring life to their characters. How do you make a drawing have a personality? And how do you connect with your artwork? So essentially every animator is an actor. So people don't realize that a lot, but you are an actor behind the camera, but you're still an actor, and you have to understand your character and have a relationship with them as you would a real person.
All right.
So, and that's why, anyway.
No, that's great. That's great. And I'm sure a ton of people are going to be really excited to go to Animation Night, and I'm really excited to go see what's going to happen as well. So thank you so much for joining us, Tony. Really appreciate it, and it's going to be a fun one.
All right.
And if you'd like to attend Animation Night 2023, the event will be held on Tuesday, May 16th at 7 p.m. in the Belushi Performance Hall on the college's main campus. This event is free and open to the public to attend. We'll be right back with your final week's weather forecast.
Join the aviation program open house on Saturday, June 10th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. located at Illinois Aviation Academy. DuPage Airport for a discussion on the new trends in the aviation industry, as well as our unique program, prerequisites for completion, and any questions you may have. COD faculty and representatives from the Illinois Aviation Academy will be on hand to talk about the courses and describe the flight training process. Free to attend. For more information, contact Tim Jenk at jenkt@cod.edu or call 630-942-2547. DuPage County communities will be coming together this summer to celebrate pop art icon Andy Warhol. It's all spurred on by multifaceted Warhol exhibition kicking off in June at the Cleve Carney Museum of Art and McInish Art Center at the College of DuPage. At its center is Andy Warhol Portfolios, A Life in Pop, works from the Bank of America collection. An exhibition that will run from June 3rd through September 10th. More than 24 communities within DuPage County will put on their own tributes to Warhol, including public art and decor projects, art shows and classes, and special events. An ongoing list of events Warhol throughout DuPage can be found on the CCMA Warhol website. For more information, contact Diana Martinez at martinezd59@cod.edu or at 630-942-3007. Join the exhibition featuring portfolios, artwork, and a high school photography display from graduating photography students. Recognition presentation will begin at 6:30 on Tuesday, May 16th in SRC 2000. The event is free to the public. For more information on the Photography Student Showcase, contact Tracy Dulceg at dulcegt@cod.edu or call 630-942-2514.
The College of DuPage's president of Phi Theta Kappa's chapter, Luis Medina, recently won his election for vice president of Phi Theta Kappa's Division III at PTK Catalyst 2023 in Columbus, Ohio. Medina looks forward to the opportunities this new position provides.
So this position, it really allows me to be basically an ambassador for Phi Theta Kappa, and I'll get the chance to travel to other chapters and other regional events in other states. And that's something I'm really looking forward to because I'll get the chance to talk to members and really talk about PTK and the benefits that we offer, as well as just, find ways to encourage them in their own growth as a leader and just maybe in their own life too.
The College of DuPage got their science on at this year's StemCon. Here is what we experienced.
I've been part of StemCon as well as organizing Women in STEM, and I really love doing that.
I've been volunteering at StemCon since the first year in 2016.
This is my first one. I'm still relatively new to the college. I'm about a year and a half in.
I think I relate to all of them. As a chemical engineer, I can definitely connect with the math and engineering. As a chemistry professor, I can relate with the technology side as well as with the science side.
Definitely the science. I'm a professor of physics here, so I help with the physics booth. I'm also the advisor for Society of Women Engineers and Physics Club, so I help with all of those activities.
I just love aviation. I think it's kind of a coincidence that it happens to go ahead and hit all of the different STEM areas, but flying airplanes is a whole lot of fun.
I enjoy it the most is seeing all these kids, trying to reach out for their passions, going to all these stations, developing new interests and stuff like that. So I've always thought that was amazing to see that, the engineering and all of STEM is still highly a lot of people are very interested in it. So
it's the start of gardening season, and the horticulture program here at the college will be having their annual spring plant sale starting next week. The plants being sold are planted by horticulture students and are taken care of with the help of volunteers. A wide variety of plants will be sold at the sale. The spring plant sale will be held at the COD Greenhouse on May 11th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and May 12th and 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and May 16th from 1 to 5 p.m. Students and faculty will be on hand to answer questions and concerns about planting and materials. For more information on the spring plant sale, visit their website at cod.edu/horticulture. Here is a look at your final week's weather forecast. Starting off finals week with a beautiful Monday of 71 degrees with a nice breeze, which leads us into a fantastic Tuesday at 75 and a Wednesday of 68. The clouds part and make way for some more humid weather, with Thursday creeping up to 78 degrees and ending off Friday with a very pleasant 74. What a beautiful week to end on. And remember, For all of your latest weather updates, check out the college's Next Generation Weather Lab at weather.cod.edu. In sports, the COD baseball team is preparing for the NJCAA Region 4 tournament. CNTV reporter Jose Mercado tells us more about the team.
COD's baseball team continues its success by defeating Illinois Valley.
Obviously, the goal is for us to get to a regional and hopefully win a regional. So I would say we're feeling good because of a region sweep for us is huge.
Throughout the season, the players managed to keep up their stamina and strike against their opposing teams.
30 wins, big milestone for the school. I mean, I'm excited to play every team in our division, in our region. They're all great guys. They're good teams to play, and I think we're a good team, and I love competing with them. So.
The team is looking to stay on their roll going into regionals.
Got big conference games coming up. Definitely give us some momentum. We all say know your own role, know what you have to do. It's a lot helpful knowing you have a good team behind your back, knowing they're going to make the plays, knowing they're going to put up run for you, especially for a pitcher. So, I mean, it's kind of easy to do the work you have to do, know what you have to do, and then put it out on the field.
The team has had a great season, and Coach Wilson feels their bond is what's pushing them forward.
What makes us unique is the fact that we're just a close group of kids. I mean, we play with each other and we play for each other. So I would say it separates us from most people.
The COD baseball team will host the NJCAA Region 4 tournament here on campus, which starts today. For CNTV, I'm Jose Mercado.
Now it's time for our final edition of Chap Chat. We asked students, how prepared are you for finals? This is what you told us.
I'm studying right now and just going through it and just getting more and more prepared.
I'm pretty prepared. I'm grateful that most of them are online, so I would say I'm pretty chill.
Currently, not too much. I'm still working on it.
I would say I'm pretty prepared, but I got some essays coming up that haven't started yet, so I need to get on that one.
Thank you for watching Courier News TV this semester. We'll be back in the fall with a new edition. For everyone here at Courier News TV, I'm CJ Rosenstein. Have an awesome summer.